Imagine a highly capable adult sitting in a dark room, frozen. They have a new project to start, but instead of writing the first line, they are completely paralyzed by overthinking. This contradicts everything we are told about high-potential children. Society expects smart kids to transition into the adult world and conquer it without breaking a sweat. In reality, many former gifted kids hit a wall. They struggle with intense imposter syndrome and develop a deep-seated avoidance of any situation that involves risk. It's a strange paradox. Their high cognitive capacity, which should be their greatest tool, is actually what causes them to retreat from challenges. To understand this paralysis, we have to look back at childhood, specifically the moment that SMART label was first applied. The paralysis stems from an identity formed in those early years, one that relies entirely on success coming easily. This is the concept of conditional identity. When praised solely for being smart, their self-worth fuses with the need for flawless performance. This creates a fragile foundation. They don't see difficult tasks as normal hurdles. Instead, they feel like direct threats to who they are. This leads to a developmental hurdle called the resilience gap. Because things came easily to them early on, these children never learned how to struggle. They missed the critical milestone of building a tolerance for effort-based failure. When adulthood eventually demands sustained discipline, they avoid the work. Struggling feels unfamiliar and deeply destabilizing. Their adult brains misinterpret the need for hard work. They see the requirement of effort as proof that they aren't actually intelligent. This builds the perfection prison. Carrying the label of the intelligent one puts them under an invisible, suffocating spotlight. They live with the fear that one visible mistake will expose them as a fraud. This fear rewires their behavior. They abandon healthy experimentation in favor of over-preparation and hesitation. To stay safe, they retreat into cognitive simulation. They spend their time in a loop of analyzing, planning, and simulating, completely bypassing execution. Thinking about a problem is safe. In the mind, the environment is perfect, and failure doesn't exist. Taking real-world action is intimidating because it involves the messiness of potential failure. Their intellect, once their greatest asset, becomes a sophisticated defense mechanism used to avoid taking action. The transition to adulthood brings a major shift, often arriving in the form of a university lecture hall or a competitive office. The environment changes instantly. The former gifted child is now surrounded by people who are just as capable as they are. This shift is psychologically painful. Since their confidence was built on standing out, finding themselves in the middle of this bell curve makes them feel shockingly average. Intelligence itself is not the source of this friction. The problem is that intelligence became the only pillar supporting their self-worth. Adulthood rewards execution, emotional endurance, and the grit to fail. Raw mental capacity is a separate asset that doesn't guarantee these results. The most successful adults decouple their identity from their intellect. They give themselves permission to look foolish, to struggle, and to finally take action.